worry, you can just skip to hear me for like 3 seconds. See you later as we pre-show.
Oh, okay. You can't see me dancing, but it's a good day today.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the GMAE show. Today is April 22nd, 2022, 7:06 p.m. my local time, but it may be April 23rd where you are if you're joining us in the Asia Pacific region. Welcome. Good morning. How are you?
You were channeling your inner Rubier there for a moment.
Oh, you already know what's up. You already know what's up, baby. Hey, we're having fun, all right? As we do on this show. Idleman asking, Joe, are you okay? I'm sorry. Am I too hype? Am I too happy? Hype. What's up, Julia G. Gooley in the chat? Enrique Mendez,
echoing?
What's up? Are you echoing? You are not echoing. You better not be echoing. Triggered.
Hey, there we go.
Triggered.
We'll get it. We'll get it proper one day.
So I found out yesterday, Conrad, why you were not audible and then also not echoing. And it turns out that when I had the giant stream with like 1 million people and we all partied because Alex is gone, so throw the rule book out on Wednesday, I had some individual channels muted and you joined in on one of the channels that I had muted. So you already know. You already know.
That's all it was.
Look a lot better than yesterday. Wow, thank you. But also,
Joe, every day you're looking better. I don't know what they're trying to say.
How bad did I look yesterday, chat? Killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls.
Chat's trying to say that every day is called progress.
Every day's feeling fresh, forward. You know what I mean? Yeah. Looking good, feeling good, all right? Looking good, feeling good. Opening up some caffeinated water because it's hot in my house. Woo!
Hey, I got my water next to me as well. Hydrating.
Having a good time.
Today is Beans Day. As chat
it is
so lovely to call it.
It's Friday, so that means we got a lot going on. But we're going to talk briefly at the end of the announcements for today. Just 2 pieces to talk about here today. And then we'll briefly talk about the patch notes, the things that we know have been fixed, changed, updated in the back end as we move toward version 0.7. All right, Icepilot X7. Good call. I will not be drinking any more of the, what was it, boysenberry? I don't even remember. It was awful. Huckleberry, thank you. Huckleberry.
Yeah. There's hand friend for you.
She's like, I'm going to make a loud noise. I'm sorry. Like, just finishing up and making food. We got 3 young ladies in this house right now at the exact same time. All 12 years old or thereabouts. So there's a chance, chat, that some random screaming is going to happen in the background, but don't worry, nothing bad is happening. They're all just wild teenagers, as you do, or whatever. Almost.
You know, it's just a part of the hype, Joe. I don't know what you're talking about.
You gotta get hype, you gotta stay hype, Conrad. So, first news, first piece of business here that we want to talk about. Julia G. Julia in the chat says, tell your wife I said, hey! So,
there we go.
There you go. You're getting the vibes. You're getting the vibes. Preparing for land. Smart. Olivia. Hi, I'm live. Yeah, thanks.
Already.
There it is. It took 2 seconds. It took 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Chat, it's going to be a wild day. It's going to be a wild day, but we're going to have some fun here. Preparing for the land. Smart contract migration to Layer 2. Layer 2 migration is coming soon and will help you get your land ready. The TLDR is pretty simple. I'm going to make it even more TLDR than this TLDR is. It doesn't matter if you have converted your land to the upgraded smart contract. We are going to do it for you for free. So you're going to get the free upgrade to prepare because, you know, a couple of weeks back, we had an interim security update for our land smart contract. We gave that to you guys for free. Everybody was able to do it to get ahead of the curve. And then we realized that maybe there's some people who have a bunch of lands. I'm thinking, you know, whale shark, right? For example, maybe they aren't on the beat of the sandbox game. Maybe they're a little bit, you know, they're doing their own thing. They got a lot of work to do. So we're going to upgrade all of the lands to the current smart contract to prepare for the Polygon Network's deployment and bridge. That means that we are just that much closer to being where we want to be. You already know what's up. You already know what's up. Also, if you want to read more about that, of course, you can go over to sandboxgame.medium.com anytime. You already know. Why Keon Art? Huge point here, by the way. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. In the chat over on twitch.tv, Keon Art says, waiting for that M-Sand land sale. And that's what it's all about. Once the conversion is made, once the lands themselves are on the Polygon network, then we're talking about saving a ton of gas fees during the land sale, getting those transactions are going faster, the sale will be able to happen faster, and, it's less expensive for you guys. You can do it in MSAN, so you could stake the MSAN pool, get the rewards for the MSAN pool, keep it there, and enjoy. And it looks like we got a raid. Who just raided us, Radcon?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
The Sandstorm meetup crew popping in here with 88 extra viewers to come check out.
There we go.
The GMAE show.
Little party. What's up, Grayson Slade? What's up, Vpire in the chat? Radcon Dad at the Sandstorm meetup. Thanks for shouting them out there. A little shout out there. So, anyway, this is a huge update. This is a big thing to talk about, right? Because you get the lands over on that Polygon network. Then we start having land sales in Polygon. You start having the opportunity to possibly, this facilitates staking sand in lands to possibly get onto the gems and catalysts that we've been talking about for a while now, So this move is huge. It's a big step. And then from there, it's the step of moving over all of the other assets that we have on the Ethereum mainnet right now. And getting that going forward as well. So it's good to see that it's right around the corner. April 27, 2022 is an automatic forced migration of any lands that have not already been updated. So if you haven't already upgraded your land to the new smart contract, it's all good. We're going to do it for you. We're going to take care of it. Don't even worry about it. And, this is also good for any of our ambassadors who are hanging out in the chat. I kind of want to troll Julia and say like Julia, because Julia's staff, but it's funnier to call her an ambassador a little bit. But, those ambassadors who have been doing the support in the Discord, thank you so much. And now you won't have to worry about this question anymore. Hopefully. I mean, real soon at least, right? The 27th at the most. At the most. All right. So, the other piece here today. I didn't watch the video yet. I'm going to watch it with you live. These little cute little critters right here. All right. Crypto Crystal NFT collection. These cute little crystalline characters. Let's check it out. They're cute. They're shiny. They're the Crypto Crystals. Crypto Crystal collection is coming straight from Japan to bring some sparkles to your land. Have a look at the trailer here. 14 assets available for sale on the Sandbox Marketplace. April 23rd, 3 p.m. UTC. Meaning just a number of hours now. Let's check it out.
Oh yeah.
I like the music. Good choice. These are cute as heck. All right. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and frame by frame this because this is wild. This is wild. All right. Hold up.
There's a lot of info here.
There's a lot going on, and they're just like, they're super cute. So I'm gonna, we're gonna highlight all these right here. All right. So we got the emerald, right? We got that looks like a character. That's an asset that's gonna run around in your space. The garnet, the iron as well. All like, it feels to me like this collection is something that you could pick this up, basically wrap it up in a land, and make an entire experience just around these characters. Super cute. Cosmo Grog says they remind him of Moon Knights. I like that. Need to rewind, Julio says. There we go. It's a beautiful little collection. I love it. Okay, question from Gangelis. I don't know if you probably already wrote this down, but I'm going to address it as we're seeing it here. What about lands that have been abandoned / blacklisted? Any plan on how to deal with those? I mean, they're going to get upgraded to the smart contract with everything else. That's the whole deal, right? Is that everything, kind of gets taken care of in that way. But we haven't had any lands that have been like blacklisted, though. All right, so I'm going to get to the next little chunk here. All right, this little gold piece right here. I love not only the faceting on it, but also just the little details, just a little sheen, little shines, right? Yeah. All of the kind of like gem style designs that they did here were just like nothing short of just majestic little tiny little details, things that they're, in order to make it seem more faceted, having the voxels come in at this 45-degree angle on the garnet shield, but not on the face itself, right? Like, this is just really well done. Whoever did this spent quite a while, just like staring at gems on the internet or in real life. I don't know if you got a lot of gems, but, very nice. Very nice. Some cool equipments here as well.
The appreciation to lighting and detail there. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
As a mini painter, we got to do a lot of that kind of thing. So, I feel the pain here for the VoxEdit guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Conrad likes to do these little tiny. What are they, like 12 millimeter? How big are those?
Oh, I mean anything from a centimeter to 2 feet. It's just
there it is.
All sorts of stuff.
I like the crystal staff.
But
on second look here, looking at the crystal staff, I didn't realize that it itself is its own little cute character. Like, I wonder if, like, when you swing it, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Is he wagging his arms?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't appear in the. Oh wait, it does.
He is.
It does.
He is.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Look at that. That is so adorable.
Wiggling its arms. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. I like it. Oh man. See, this is just a great collection. I'm in love with this collection. Literally, it's amazing. I don't know. The longer that I look at these, like, the cuter they all become, and like the little individual personalities are stepping out. Like this emerald diorama, and it's just like kicked back, like hands behind his head. It's just vibing, no big deal, Oh man, it's super cool, super cool. All right, so yeah, wow, Ice Pilot.
Yep, Ice Pilot's
Ice Pilot
for work today.
Ice Pilot is definitely pushing the limits and what he's trying to get us to say on this stream.
Right.
Chat!
We got EOS to worry about.
A little video game. What are we going to do today? What are we playing today? Chat. Well, whoa, wait a minute. Actually, it occurs to me that, Conrad, you had mentioned that we need to read those patch notes. So I'm going to get those.
Right.
I'm going to get those in here.
We got an email to go over.
Let's have a look here, because I'm going to find, first of all, the last one that I got that was the update here.
Okay, before you do that, let's catch up on some of these questions here
that
are relevant to what we've been talking about.
Sure.
Our friend Shram over on YouTube asks, will our Sandbox assets also be migrated to Layer 2 Polygon?
Not with this update.
And along with that, Ivan Nunez, good to see you, Ivan. It's been a minute. Is asking, will there be something for landowners soon? It seems that the Sandbox forgot about them in Alpha 2, though I don't think that's quite true. I think lands are more of a treat within themselves. Am I wrong to say that?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Well, first of all, if you had lands, then in Season 2 you got 40 tickets per land that you had, which... with intent, I mean, there you got up to 5 of those, and so if you had taken it to somebody like, Alex or something like that, where they got 20 plus lands, and you say, well, there's no cap on that, then they would have got more tickets than they would have for participating in the alpha. So you have to make sure that we balance the whales with the general consumer as well, or the first timer that's coming in. So we had to take that into consideration when deciding how many tickets that a land would offer. But you're right, Conrad. I mean, ultimately, a land, what it offers you is the ability to publish your experience in the Sandbox game. And with that, you're going to then have a chance to get more sand as a result of having that land, if that's your intention, or advertise, promote something, or sell an NFT in order to get access and all that sort of stuff. So land is kind of in its own world with that. And I think it's important that we make sure that we don't look at a land and go like, well, it's not a profile picture sort of roadmap, because it's really nothing like the way that 10K profile picture things work. It has its own life to it. So.
Right. And Grayson, we do see what Little Legion's been doing over on Twitter. Shout out to them. It's Little Legion onboarding over on Twitter. Go check them out. They've been doing some really great work. But to continue on with our questions here, Cult Type PS3 as if you have any land, could you in the future take a fee for entering it, like
Yep.
maybe a race, winner gets a prize? Will this be possible? Question we get often.
Yeah, so yes, both ways. You can allow that your game would offer a reward for doing a task in the future. It's probably not going to be at the launch of UGC, but it will be functional at a certain point. So if you are like testing a thing and you're putting it out there, I would say make sure that you have first have some core concepts so people can get a taste of what they're going to get, basically like make a demo of your experience. And then when you get feedback from your general consumer, and they say like, this is good, this is bad, whatever, you can take that back to the drawing board and keep working while keeping your content published. And then when you get to the Ice Pilot's doing better than you right now, Julia. When you get to the end game, right, and you have a finished product, then you can offer that update out there and say, okay, well, the sandbox has allowed now that you can take some sand for players to play and offer sand for players to win or whatever, if you want to do either one of those. And then on the other side, you're also making sure that the users who already played, who enjoyed it, get something new, fresh, and enjoyable again when they come back, rather than be like, oh, well, it's more of the same, but I can earn on it. Because one of the principal things that I think a lot of people miss in this play to earn space is, quite frankly, play. We want to have fun when we do it. If you happen to earn,
right,
but you have fun first, then people are going to come back over and over and over, and they're going to basically throw money into your pockets. But if they're not having fun and they're just earning because it earns, then they're going to fall off. And at a certain point, it's unsustainable. So make sure that they are having fun when they play your product.
And to go along with that, Gangules asks, if we make all easy games and we just win, will we break the TSB economy? It's not infinite funds, Gangules. It is coming from somebody if it's their land.
That's true. So there's two things that are happening there. First, yes, to Conrad's point, if a developer like you creates an experience that offers rewards, then there's some kind of a pool for those rewards, and a developer has to keep that in mind, right? And then on the other side, even if it is the Sandbox game that is doing a play to earn system, we also make smart tokenomics decisions. We do things differently than almost every other play to earn game / experience, in that when we have an alpha, we have a determined pool of how much sand maximum will be distributed in that alpha. And, we have a 5-year arc for that. So as every team who is coming into the space that chooses to do play to earn develops, they're going to have a sustainability plan, because you will always have some users that are just going to come in and play and earn from you. So on the other side, if you are, for some users, just giving money away, essentially, you're going to have a supplement to that to bring more in, whether that be a collection of NFTs that you take, commissions on, essentially. For whatever reason, the word is leaving my mind, but you take a percentage every time it's sold and resold. Those can be, I'm sorry?
Royalties?
Yes, thank you. This guy's got it. But yeah, so, there's, you need that in order to be able to continue that mill of being able to offer that play to earn stuff. So if those are highly desirable NFTs that you can only get by having a certain amount of sand, then a user is going to take that sand that they earn from your experience, and they're going to dump it back into your experience, essentially, by buying the product that you had sold initially to build that first pool. So building that self-sustaining economy is going to be core, and it's a thing that I think almost every company, person, individual, right, we're all going to have to learn before you get there. But in terms of the sandbox, we have it pretty well fleshed out already on a solid 5-year plan.
Right, and to continue keeping up with our questions here. Gangly's also asked earlier, what about the lands that have been abandoned or blacklists? Are there any plans to deal with those? Are they just going to be abandoned? What's going on with those?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so to a certain extent, the nature of the blockchain is that, we don't own it. So what are you going to do with it? It's your choice, right? If you were to have bought something and then you trade it, sell it, abandon it, lose your wallet, whatever, that is happening. It's happening. We don't own your stuff. So if a thing is abandoned, then we can't go just take it from you, right? That means that we can't just take it to resell it, because this isn't a centralized space. This is decentralized. So if something does go missing, then okay. But at the end of the day, I don't really see that as a problem. That would be a problem, but I don't see that as a thing that will be a problem, because let's say that you bought lands way back in, early 2020 when they were like $40, $50. If you did that, and then somebody says on the news, the Sandbox Metaverse is now worth $10 billion. You may go, I had the Sandbox land. I should look at that. And then you'll open it up and find out that it's worth $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 and go, okay, I think I'm going to sell it because I didn't develop on it, right? And it'll fix itself over time.
Just a thing that happens in real life, and unfortunately, it's going to happen in TSB as well. And Harbinger 9999 asked, how can I participate in Game Jam?
Sure, yeah. Any open game jam, if it is done by the Sandbox official, is going to have a form at the bottom. All you have to do is create your experience according to the rules on those articles that are at sandboxgame.medium.com. Or if it's a third-party game jam, like the Fun Guy game jam that happened right before Touche took a nice little vacation with Andy Ritchie, we had, we had loads of different entries go in, but they had their own different rules. So it all really just comes down to, again, the organization that's doing the game jam, if it's not us. And then if it is us, you fill out the Google form with the accurate and appropriate information following the rules. There you go. Easy. I mean, the developing is the thing that takes time, right?
Right. Easy game, easy life is what I always say.
Hey, what up?
And then Crypto Nerd wants to know, he's got a couple questions for us, but are we going to do the similar thing to what Axie Infinity is currently doing and caring more about the fun of things? Or are we going to be still concerned about those tokenomics? And also, to go along with that, what is the maximum supply of sand? Will it ever deflate like ETH?
Okay, sure. Those are all good questions. First, in terms of fun, you are the developer. You are creating. You are making the fun. So that question is more to do with you than it does to do with me. But to a certain extent, we do advise while we can, where we can. Of course, this show is all about that. I want to play your experiences. I'll give you some feedback on that. If it's great, you'll know, because there have been quite a few experiences where I've just very straight out said, hey, it's great. Now, tokenomics-wise, there are, or will ever be, there aren't currently, but there will ever be 3 billion, with a B, sand tokens. Currently, there's about 1.8 billion, I think, last I checked, something like that, sand tokens. So the rest of those will be distributed over the duration of the full 5 years since its inception in August of 2020. So that means that August 2025, the supply should be fully distributed and become an entirely decentralized platform. Now you talk about whether it's going to be deflationary. It's not. It would be stagflationary at that point. But because there's no new supply in the system, if it has the same demand, then you could assume you could assume that it would be, yeah, you know what I mean. It's all good.
You're good.
You could assume that the price of an individual token would go up if the demand is the same, but there's no new supply. But yeah. So what was it? There was a third part to that question. I've lost it in my mind, Conrad.
Oh, is it going to end up deflating? And also, are we more concerned about the fun of things rather than the tokenomics and keeping the money and the play and earn aspect of our game?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The other aspect that you probably haven't seen, that you can check out in the white paper, or you can check out on the research.binance.com article, is the idea that, yeah, we're taking, or we have a 5% overhead on the marketplace right now on Sandbox.game. We have a 5% overhead when you make a third-party sale over on OpenSea currently. And so that 5% will also be the way that we continue to refresh and reproduce seasonal reward content for long-term play. So in all the spaces on the map that Slitherkind, I like it. I like it a lot. In all the spaces on the map where you see Sandbox game land, that's either going to be for us to develop seasonal content specifically, or to offer it to another party down the road. Once all the land sales are done, if we continue to establish new great partnerships, they may pop up in those spaces. So yeah, we can fund seasonal content essentially forever, for as long as there are still sales on the marketplace, for as long as there are still lands being sold and traded. That is going to be a continued pool to keep having these seasons of content. So that's going to be good. Now, Crypto Nerd 303, still on the same topic. I'm going to answer it before it even gets into the question line, because it's, would introducing a burning mechanism consider that deflationary? It would instantly become deflationary if there is more burned or removed from the system than is produced in the system. That's what deflationary means. So right now, ETH itself is actually just about a net neutral, based on, like, when you see one sale where gas prices explode and you're like, well, why is gas 5,000 Gwei right now? That's a deflationary moment for ETH. And that's kind of how this conversation even comes up to begin with. For the Sandbox game, we have a consistent inflationary track for a 5-year period, and then instantly there is no more inflation at all. But critically, just like with Bitcoin and those other systems that introduce inflationary mechanics, almost every token has it, we reduce that inflation over time. So the first release was obviously a huge amount of inflation, right? And then, like, every 6 months there's new supply added to the system, but it's trickled in through these contests, through these giveaways, through, game jams or VoxEdit design contests, things like that. So we don't just dump it onto the market, which is why you never see like a single day. There's never like a doomsday moment in the community where they go like, oh no, all this new supply is coming onto the market, because we've just done like marketing and partnerships and whatever we can to, make sure that there is new positive consumer sentiment at the same time as new token distribution. So that's why things have been working as well as they have over the last couple of years.
Right, and it looks like we're going to be actually not doing a game jam, or not playing a game here for a second. Sandstorm Meetup has a small request. Wants to know if we could check out their social hub and creations from their community members. Is that possible, Bill?
Sure. Yes. Where is it?
I am unsure myself.
Give me a page. Give me a page.
It's going to be... Oh, man.
Oh, Jazzwolf, thank you for answering that. A question did come up earlier, so I want to address it, where they asked if there would be a maximum supply of lands. And yes, absolutely. There is 166,464 lands that will ever be produced or exist in the Sandbox game. They already all exist, but they haven't. Well, that's not true. They almost all exist. If you want to know, you can go to the website at sandbox.game, and actually, if you zoom in on the button that says map, you will see little tiles. They're almost like completely black, but they do have some darker lines in there, so you can see where the differentiation is. The furthest left, the furthest up, the furthest right, the furthest down, where you see green boxes, those are the actual like end of the supply lines, essentially. So everything is a 404 by 404 total coordinate space with 202 vertical left to right, and then negative 202 both ways.
And our Sandstorm meetup here is going to be featured. So it's one of our featured experiences because they had that live DJ today for their event.
Okay.
I gotta go back and check the VOD.
Party with Sandstorm.
Oh, there it is.
DJ Tropics. What's up? Let's go. That sounds good. Yeah, let's break it.
And as we're continuing to try and answer these questions, Excellent here in the chat. Excellence 3 hasn't quite paid attention to our ambassadors. We do have some wonderful folks helping out in chat. Make sure you're still reading that and not just listening to us, because sometimes questions do get overlooked. Any news updates for season 3?
Sort of. That's actually part of what we would discuss when we get to those sort of patch notes section. I was in a discussion earlier this week about a promotion that we wanted to do. One of those was I made the suggestion, and I mentioned this yesterday, that I wanted to have a Twitch partnership situation, and there's a call for that later. I'm gonna definitely, yeah. Anyway, so we wanted to have a Twitch partnership with where
also,
a user could be watching live and generate points similar to when they had like Twitch drops. I guess that's what they're called, right? Twitch drops.
Correct.
But rather than it be like an NFT or something like that, because I don't think that they're necessarily they're not ready for that yet. It would be something akin to maybe raffle tickets. Anyway, so I was in this conversation and I bring this up and they said that's a great idea, but if we do that, it pushes out season 3 too long. So, season Ice Pilot, it's just the sun, my guy.
Do you have your lights on today?
I have both my lights on, but the sun is getting real low, big guy. And
just trying to help out.
Just getting those God rays, you know what I mean?
Chat's with you.
All right. So let's yeah.
We're checking it out.
Season
here.
3 is that quick that like it's coming too soon to be able to push new significant updates to it. Okay, so let's see. Sandstorm meetup space. As I first walk in, I've got some explorable backside area that feels empty right here. If I'm here and you can see those NFTs off in the distance, the question is, in this space, did you want somebody to be here? If not, in my opinion, don't take this the wrong way.
I think it's supposed to be a loading dock.
Right.
I mean, we want to be able to explore everything. I mean, look at that Sandstorm block. That's got to mean something for somebody,
That's cool.
Right?
That's cool. I'm definitely with it. And we've got a loading dock, and obviously, like to a certain extent, you don't want to load it up with a bunch of stuff, but you could probably give it a little life with, a character here and there that maybe like is directing like what loading may be done or what unloading may be done.
I just want an instant kill train that just is forever flowing.
No. No, but down in this area, we've got a nice little loading warehouse. And once again, I'm just spitballing these things. They're just falling out of my head, right? Where's a forklift? If we're going to have these boxes. Also, some of these boxes should be palletized, right? Because we got a big shipping, like this is the kind of like shipping crane mechanism that you would have had on a port. Like, you got big old boats coming through here. And I'm not
I think we're being a little
I'm definitely being overly harsh, for sure. I just want to be clear that like I'm just
hub here.
Just spitting it out of my head. This is just what I'm thinking in the moment. None of these ideas have to work. At the end of the day, a developer's choice is their choice, right? Okay. So we got a little cherry tree here. And as I'm coming into this other space, just walking up into here, this is nice. This is really cute. What's going on here? Is this like an alpaca race? It's got a little farm.
Oh, this is adorable.
On. Somebody doing a backflip? What do you got going on over here? Wait, where did that
Sandstorm?
Where did that
Sandstorm wants to go to that main area. You got to go to the main square.
They're racing against each other in here. That's super cool. This is super cool. So the mechanism that, like, this is the life. This is the life that I'm talking about. This is alive. This is fresh. This is super cool. Love to see a little bit of this kind of like, this kind of just, I mean, this required some serious work to make it happen. First of all, the fact that the objects lean when they turn, I'm a little bit mystified by this. Is that an animation that you did for those particular assets? And then there's just a trigger to make them lean sideways? It's gotta be, right? This is super cool. All right.
Alrighty. Well, now we're finally meeting the red carpet here.
So, never mind. I had a thought, but it's not about this game or experience. All right. So, let's see. Okay, these squid head dudes, they're pretty cool. This is funny. Where do they come from? What's this association? This guy's chilling. Joe, get on this speaker. Which speaker? Oh, Nate. Nate wants me to get on the speaker.
They look like they were aliens that were taking over people.
They kind of do, right?
Cthulhu monsters, yeah.
V Empire Knight. Are you Vampire Knight? But you're just like making a meme about it because it's pretty funny. I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, these seem like they're having a good time. I don't know. I would definitely put a squid on my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
This guy's underwater. There is a way down, in, up. Can I die in here? Nope. Okay. What's up?
For anybody who wants anybody who wants to hang out here, it's on the featured page. The Sandstorm meetup with they just got done with their DJ.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, I like I said, I don't want it to be harsh, but I feel like those two sections right now really well fleshed out, well developed, super cool. Love them to death. This Coliseum thing, amazing. This looks badass. Like, what is this? That is so cool. But, you know, for whatever reason, the loading dock, just a bad first impression. All right, listen to the live DJ. We have a live DJ. Make sure that you're tuned in via Discord stage or twitch.tv/Sandstorm Meetup. Okay. Do you have a ticket? Sure. Let's pretend. Let's pretend like I have a ticket, you know? Okay. Now we're getting real. Now it's getting serious right now. Now it's getting real. I think it's lowering a little slow. Given the
No way, I'm into it. It's supposed to be epic.
I like that very beginning when it was lowering slow, right? Because it was like, oh, this is epic kind of moment. But this is a very high height. All right, Nightclub Stage by Lady Pixie. Oh, I like that these assets are featured the way that they do. The drinks section. Can I walk through everything? Oh, interesting. So for me personally, I probably wouldn't make it so that I can walk through these things. But that may have been an intentional decision to avoid glitches. So I don't know what feedbacks you have, but my personal opinion is that if a thing is thicker than a character's arm, then you shouldn't be able to walk through it. So like this DJ and the whole DJ station shouldn't be able to be walked through. Now, you know, if you don't want the hitbox on because all the characters are animated, I get that, right? And that makes sense in its own way. But what I would probably do here is put invisible assets like inside the speakers or inside the stairs so that I can step on it without it being the hitbox of the asset itself. Because I see that they're all animated and they're all one piece, like this pool here. You could put a box inside the pool, like maybe not even all the way up because the pool is water, right? You want it to be able to stand in water. So you put like a little 5 voxel box under this so that we can get in the pool, but it looks like we're in the pool. And then the edges over here, you put those short invisible walls inside the edges of the pool so we can jump in and party.
Sandstorm Meetup says, yes, definitely didn't have enough time for the show, to be honest.
There we go. There we go.
This is
so
all,
yeah, once again, not meant to be overt criticisms, but more so like because, you know, this is useful for everybody who's watching anyway. So
right.
So same thing with
but
the
is
stage, you know. They're very
vegan X.
What happened? Somebody call me the vegan X.
No, right next to you. There's a user with the vegan. I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Okay. All right. So, I mean, you got a lot of beautiful assets here. It's clearly a party.
Holy crap.
It's clearly a club. We're repping the right things. A couple of assets here from the CyberConks. Got a little POAP to scan. Beautiful work. We got a nice stage here. Now, you know, you already know you're gonna have a good opportunity to do this later. At this time, can I go back up? That's I have kind of a question about that, right? I'm trying to find a platform to go back up, or am I, for lack of a better term, stuck here? Do I have to slash respawn? I do. I can slash respawn to go back up. And then from there, can I go back down? Not that, you know. Because I'd like to explore the whole thing. But, okay. So now you can just jump down. That's good.
Right. Otherwise, your Sandstorm says you're stuck down here to party forever.
There it is.
Unless you hit respawn, of course.
All right, so I'm exploring this a little bit more. I guess, so the ups and the downs. If you don't want people to really care all that much about the upside of the world, I would say things like these blocks that you've designed to look like a bush made in Minecraft is good. Because it has a limited number of faces and it's not going to have any like additional lag, undue lag. So keeping things a little less complicated on the upper levels is not a problem if you want people to just spend all their time downstairs. But if you do want people to explore and be invested in the upstairs things, then, you know, I would say try to eliminate some of those and make maybe less complex basic bushes rather than blocks that are bushes. And probably important to do that in the sense that you want people to differentiate your experience. If your experience is the first one anyone ever plays, they may come into this and go, oh, it's Minecraft. You know, oh, it looks like Minecraft. And they have these predispositions about what your experience is or what you can do in it, when in reality, you're something else entirely. I love Ice Pilot. Call back to yesterday when I said Mojang instead of Minecraft.
Right.
Yeah. Julia and VPire are currently in a troll chat trying to bait me right now. Trying to get me to break. Yeah. I mean, overall, I think it's got some interesting individual components. The players can bring life to it. I think what you could do that could be a little different here, as a possibility, is you could make it so that the crowd or the line here that's waiting could slowly move forward. Possibly like a cycle. Just literally make a little belt that has them come into here. Just for the life of it. And then once they like get down below the entry of the hole there, they could zip to the back, like inside a black box, instead of having the red carpet be red carpet up here. Give it a little dynamics to it there. But overall, no, this is a beautiful experience.
You could have that killer train drop off some of these folks as they
there you
go to line up.
Killer train from outer space. All right, Cold Cuts and Cheese is asking for me to give feedback on each party asset, or at least some. Sure. So right away, as I'm looking at the Lady Pixie assets, I think they did a good job of keeping it fresh here, but also reusing assets in the right ways. As they dance, you can see that flash of light. That's just a good like two voxel or 2-frame thing. Frame up, light up, character moves. Frame 2, light down, real quick. And so they go in this nice loop. I think that's really good. Overall, they're fine little characters doing their thing, having a party. I would say that for me, over criticizing once again, the center light bars. You got to do it. You got to give real honest feedback. Means that everybody has an opportunity to improve. Whether I'm right is up to you. But I think that the interior light bars, you see how they kind of move up and down like this? I would slow them down a little bit. The magenta, the cyan bars as they go, when they flash on the bottom, that's cool. But if they're going to be moving, then just make them move. Add a couple more frames in there. Otherwise, if you want them to just flash on the stage, then make it flash on the stage. Don't worry about moving it all the way up, all the way down.
I do like how they look. I would just like to look at them a little bit longer, as you're saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is like when you have some of those assets that flash like that, you're going to run into epilepsy sort of possibilities. People who sometimes you'll have people who don't even have epileptic issues, but they have like acute symptoms, so they'll get a headache if they're in your space too long and there's too much flashing and stuff like that going on. So the little like 1-frame moves that happen in there for that distance can make that worse for those people. And you're trying to, at the end of the day, get people to stay in your space for as long as possible. So smooth frames on those are going to be better than quick, flashes and stuff like that. All right. Ice Pilot X7 says, Joe's nitpicky feedback times 60 assets equals 4 days of content. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's got to be real. It's got to be real.
Postcom here in the chat says, all the assets you're seeing are made by the community. It's a contest with a $5,000 sand prize pool.
Nice. 5,000 sand.
All right.
That's amazing. All right, so now we're here to the hot tub party. Okay, first of all, this situation right here with the keg, just straight up. I love the fact that the actual voxels that are the liquid are turning. Like kind of the same way that you would have that, like if you pour water out of a bottle and it has that kind of perpetual motion to it. I mean, at a certain point it's more static, but you can't convey that in voxel form. So I think this is a great way to convey that the maximum supply of adult beverage is being supplied to this gentleman right here. And also the pure joy on the lady's face, who is, first of all, super strong to be able to just hold a keg over somebody's face. All right. but the joy there.
With infinite liquid.
Yes, unlimited. It's a very D&D like, but that's great. I think that's super cool. Let's see. I mean, otherwise, the bubbles in the water are a nice touch. I mean, the fact that this champagne or whatever has been spilled, it's like doing a little herky-jerky thing there as I zoom in, but the champagne here has been spilled onto the surface. It's a nice little touch. The lights are cool. It's doing its thing. No real... I mean, the speakers have detail. I mean, it's just cool. It's just cool.
That's a solid asset. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing... I can't even look at that and be like, well, Joe's going to give you his nonsense. Good job. Me and Vincent...
Hot tub, right?
I mean, hot tub is spelled correctly, I think. I think it is. There's a whole time machine about it, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm messing with you. Oh, man.
Damn it.
Don't even. You got to stop looking over there, Joe.
Y'all are crazy. Hot tub party. All right, so everyone had a chance to make a stall asset there? Yeah, anybody, Josh the Spaniard, anybody who wanted to enter into their contest has an opportunity to do that. All right, the question, Leonardo de la Cruz says, why is most of it non-collision? Well, as the dev said in the chat, they had chosen to make it no collision because there is a certain amount of additional work that needs to be done in order to, like, if you made it all collision for this particular object right here, right? Because the characters on the stage are animated, they're dancing, and it's not a static piece, that means you can't jump between the characters, right? So the hitbox is actually this, like, right here. I would normally run into a wall right here if I was to take it as collision on. So the only way to do this right as no collision would be to place the object with no collision and then place, like, an actual circle that is another object inside it so that you can step on that if you want to stand on the stage. And the characters would have to still be no collision because you can't put an animated asset in there. You could put like a single block in the middle of it though, so that you can't completely walk through them. All that sort of tricks and trades. That is similar to what Andy Ritchie did some time ago in a game jam when he made a bunch of trees on the map and he was talking, or feeling the same way that I was about bushes, shrubbery, whatever. You want to be able to just pass through them a bit. So Andy made it so that a telephone pole was in the middle of the tree where the actual trunk of the tree is, but the rest of the tree was still no collision because the tree itself was no collision. So it's, there's all sorts of opportunities there. Conrad, we got any more questions in the chat?
Oh, yeah. No forum yet, folks. There is probably going to be a giveaway today. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
It's a day, right?
I don't know. We always get the folks coming in here that just want to know. But I'm going to say maybe today.
If you know, you know.
Just to get them around. But much earlier, our friend Jervain over on, hopefully saying that right, over on YouTube asked, what would the Sandbox do about those folks who are cheating and who already did take advantage of situations like in Season 2, there's a person that got 14 alpha passes, and how can we make sure that something like this doesn't go as extreme in Season 3? Rewording their question a little bit there, but what can we do there?
Nice. I didn't read the question, but I'm puzzling back how it was probably actually written. I think the thing to understand is that the first thing that we can do, which we do, is to say one person, one account, one wallet. Those things happen. The website has, when you submit a form directly on the website, the IP address and all those other things, right? So if a person comes through with their one account, that's always logged into the one IP in Germany and their individual wallet, and then that same person was to sign out, change IPs to Japan, get a wallet that's a different one, and come back, it is very difficult to determine if that person in that moment isn't just another unique individual. And you, as a user, would be very upset if we went into the assumption that you were using multiple accounts or trying to otherwise manipulate the form or, that sort of thing to get multiple prizes. So the best thing that we can do thereafter is to go, you're out of here and all of the accounts that you created are gone. That is, there are other more obvious situations, however. We've seen submissions like I saw it on Twitter, last week where we had a question go out, like, what was your favorite experience? And a bunch of people copied and pasted PandaPops' response into the Twitter thing with like 10 different screenshots of them reaching the finish line of the race maze experience. And when they did that, that was like, okay, well, anybody who answers with that answer, except for PandaPops, is clearly a bot, right? And so those are more obvious, and we could take care of those in an easier way. Now, there is a good long-term solution, but a good, I'm going to say, quarter of the community doesn't want it. And that is the know your customer or know your consumer, KYC method. So we can say, correct, in order to have an account here, you have to prove that you are who you are. And in order to do KYC, a person has to scan their ID. They have to have proof of address, that sort of stuff. If we went through that process, we may do it through an Animoca Brands service called BlockPass. And BlockPass will not store your actual information permanently. What it does is it verifies that you are who you said you were. And then once you're verified, it stores that you were at some point verified as a hash on their system. So you have the KYC, but without the nonsense of it, right? The part that people don't like. But once again, quite frankly, if we go through with that, you're going to have a decent contingent of people who are like, well, I don't like it. So I'm already seeing some of those comments in the chat. And that's the give and take is, do you actually want bot prevention? Being pro KYC will do that. If you don't actually want bot prevention, then it is accepting that there is some percentage of fault that will occur. Out of 10,000, I would say that 14 isn't so bad. But, we do everything that we can to prevent those things going from, CAPTCHAs to whatever along the way. All sorts. Oh, Luke Phillips, okay, any user out there,
we're gonna,
we
didn't read that.
If you happen to be violating the terms of service of the Sandbox game, please don't actively publicize that. I don't know you, but you did just confirm that you're not supposed to even be here.
Right.
Anyway,
it's a strange thing. It's a strange thing.
Say it a lot. That the terms and conditions do say 18 plus.
Right. And
it's kind
RX7801 asks, what if my brother is using one laptop to submit a form? Will I get banned because of this? And I can answer this one. If you and your family are playing the game, that's not frowned upon. If you have to use one computer to have that go around, because you and your wife are doing the thing and you're both submitting forms, or you and your husband, so on and so forth, because 18 plus, as we just said, gotta save there, or if your dog, you're not gonna get disqualified. It's the folks that are obviously abusing things, and again, a KYC would solve all this, but folks want things to be they don't want things to be centralized, so a lot of things to consider.
Mm-hmm.
And then Not Jackie Chan asks, can we make our avatar as big as a level?
No. There are scaling rules in the Sandbox game that make it so that it's not possible, but you can override the default avatar to be another asset that you have designed. So if you have an asset that is a singular object that is quite large, then you could use that asset. So you could make an experience that, like, I don't know, King Kong, blow up the city or whatever, Rampage, that game. Don't copy it directly, but you know what I mean.
Right, right. And then our friend Grayson Slade asks, when I first came in, I signed up with a social and was given an account with Bentley. I
Yes.
have since made a MetaMask wallet and
Mm-hmm.
as well a MetaMask account attached to my ledger. The
Mm-hmm.
only account I've ever used is MetaMask One. Are we ever going to be able to remove accounts we've made?
Um, yeah, sort of. Change the email in that account to the whatever you want. It doesn't matter. The email and the username don't matter. The wallet is the account. So you could delete or like go to Venly and remove your wallet forever, and then it would be gone automatically. You could again change your email address to whatever you want, so that you get that email back on your MetaMask account. But yeah, you've already done the work. And users sometimes ask me this question with regards to like, how do I move assets from one to the other? So if you happen to have stuff still on your Venly account that's with regards to the Sandbox game, then just move it to your MetaMask account. It'll cost a small on-chain fee. But otherwise, yeah, it's good to go.
Right. And then will somebody who win the 200 M Sand from Race Main win the current experience as well? If they end up being the winner of both contests, then congratulations to them.
Yeah. I mean,
At least that's
skill-based
how
play
I'm taking that
contests
question.
are that. Are you the best in the world at what you do? You're probably going to win a lot of contests, you know? That's okay. That's okay. Think of it kind of like
Right.
an
And
esports, right? An esport, you got the pros, you got the ghosts out there, whatever. What's an esport? Who's a good esports? You know what I mean? Who's a good esports chat?
the goodies. Oh man.
Yep.
Uh,
Got your C9s out here. I don't know. I'm American. I don't. We don't have good esports teams.
I mean, I could go on a list. I pay attention to Smite and League of Legends, but I lately I haven't caught up. But regardless,
Yeah.
Crypto929 asks, have you tried a new project that focuses on sustainability? Not only is this attempting to benefit the community, but is also attempting to cut global greenhouse gas emissions.
Yes.
So
Great
with that,
question. Thank you.
go ahead.
Uh, Polygon Network. We are transferring those lands right now to the Polygon Network. And as part of that, we are going to migrate to the smart contract that is the latest update automatically all of the lands that we have. And then they will be prepared for that Polygon Network transition. We know that Polygon Network is about 1,000 times more energy efficient than the Ethereum main network right now, meaning that minting an NFT on the Polygon Network costs less in energy usage than sending an email. So, absolutely, we are going to be, ecologically conscious. Now, further to that point, because this is an older announcement, at the same time we made the announcement that we were partnering with Polygon on this venture, we also announced that a portion of all of our sales that we had made was going to go to regrowing forests all over the world. I forget the name of the company off the top of my head, but we put multi-million-dollar contributions towards this already, and will continue to do so going forward. So not only are we reducing our carbon emissions for this product, but also offsetting them.
Right. And Crypto Nerd, the Investopedia link that I sent out for Gwai and whatnot. That was just me being like, here, let me give you a quick explanation on Gwai. That was the easy one I found. But otherwise, our friend RX wants to know, why don't we just use a CAPTCHA, Joe?
We do.
For our box.
In the last land sale that we had a CAPTCHA.
Hey. And why don't we do more of that for our giveaways and things like that?
For our giveaways? Because it's me.
For various giveaways. I mean for like Twitter contests and things like that.
Yeah, because so there's a certain CAPTCHAs work when there is a limited time to have them work. When there is an open-ended week to do a thing, CAPTCHAs don't really work. They work okay in that case, but CAPTCHAs are literally used to program, like, the data that is captured from CAPTCHAs can in some cases be used to train cars on how to drive on the road without hitting a person. When they're like, show me all the people. Well, that's why you're clicking, show me all the bicycles. Right? And they're in various levels of clarity and disclarity. So that's, CAPTCHAs don't work as a like week-long solution for making sure that no bot ever gets in for a Twitter contest. So it's not really compatible with that. A Twitter contest is mostly, from a company standpoint, a Twitter contest is a marketing campaign. It's let's get new eyes on this, bringing them into the sandbox to expand everybody's audience. And most of the people watching here are developers who are trying to create in the sandbox game. And so that you want to see more eyes on that. So you have to have a certain amount of your budget dedicated to social media contests. And, allow the human equity to get used here. Allow us to do our job and go like at least suss out the things that are obvious bots and get them out of the way. Because you can tell when a thing is a bot. Whether it be having 1 answer, 5 answers, 10 answers that it kind of cycles through, you'll still go, oh, here's a disproportionate number of people who answered this. There's 30 of this same answer and only 100 comments. That's a bot, right? Unless everybody loves perfect English.
Right.
All right.
We don't want them to learn.
Anything else? Is that the last one?
Well, right now, that's about where we're at.
I love it.
Otherwise, friends just wanting to know where that season 3 is. And we don't know.
Season 3, dog. When season 3?
When season 3?
Well, in that light, Conrad, since it's already 8:15 p.m. my local time, we've been breezing through it with all these amazing questions. I am sending you a form right now in the chat. Twitch.tv, YouTube.com, and all of the 4 different outlets we have live on Facebook right now are receiving a form to fill it out for Wizzy the Green's Lucky Hat, an NFT that you can wear inside any combat-based or metaverse experience that, any in the gallery game experience. So you can see right now that I can't wear my NFTs because I'm in a social hub. But if it was a combat-based experience, then I could be wearing my Wizzy the Blue's Undying hat right now. But you guys have an opportunity to win that Wizzy the Green's Lucky Hat here on this show. There are, I think, a little under 100 left now. And when they're gone, they're gone. We'll have to come up with something new. Limited quantity, though. So, Now, Adonathiel _ over on twitch.tv is asking right now, why not purple? The purple hat's coming. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Right now it doesn't exist.
Rotation. It doesn't exist yet.
Not a thing yet.
Hasn't been made. But you know what? That's a day. That's a day. That's a day with the great Alex Florez. All right. You can get that purple hat. Possibly. Going forward. Question. PG Live PT says, I'm doing an experience. Or I'm going, I assume it means doing. How can I make a bird giving instructions to the players to go out of that zone? Just for the most part, you would just have the bird there. You could do it in a couple different ways. You could have it so that you have to press E to interact with the bird and have a conversation. The question is, from me to you, do you want the bird to be flying like in a circle and then also giving those directions? Because you could do that if you pin like a calculator to the bird, that the calculator is not visible, and then have that have its like a floating text box as well. There's a couple of different ways that you could do this, but it really you got to be a little more specific on exactly kind of what you want that bird to do. Like how does it want to be? Because if it's just like a raven sitting on top of a door frame saying nevermore, then you can make it so that you could interact with it or just do the text block. So yeah, if it's only going to talk, then it's a proximity based prompt for a text block that you are looking for there. And you can do that pretty quickly and easily. There's tutorials from loads of folks if you want to find it in a YouTube video or something. Maddox of Furia, I am not the Kraken, all right? Could be.
I think you are.
Could be, but I'm not.
It looks like you are.
It's pretty fun. I mean, I do look like the Kraken right there. It's true. A true
Sandbox
Animu Kraken.
Right. Sandboxer Mike wants to know what email they should use for this forum. The one, the platform we're using, or associated with the Sandbox?
The one that you would use on the Sandbox website.
Right. The one that you want to get your emails for. Mainly.
Mm-hmm.
John Vader says, I am here. What did I miss? Quite a lot, my friend. Gonna have to watch that VOD.
Just a couple things. You know what I mean?
And
we started out with the... What was it? What was the kickoff today?
And
I forget.
We actually never got around to those patch notes and those beans.
That's a good point, Conrad. I appreciate that. Let's see here.
Because we got caught up in the sandstorm meetup, and here we go.
Let's see here.
And we got some excellent questions today.
Yeah, we got a lot of great questions, and I appreciate those for sure. A new victory screen is currently under development. Event tracker and ethos points are also currently under development. A game client UI revamp testing was put on hold to focus on the 0.7 feature parity testing. So, feature parity, right? You want to know that things that already existed also still work when you get into 0.7. So, putting off a little UI update for that. Map and mini-map development has started. So instead of just having this plain generic one in the top right, got a little something there. Emote wheel development is almost done for a new update there. Audio and video streaming is now under quality assurance. And crowd engagement / emotes has been started. Also, under quality assurance right now, crouch and crawl. You guys never knew. Crouch and crawl. All right. We talked about swimming.
You gave us
like 2 days ago.
The beans on swimming, yeah.
Yeah. Crouching, crawling. Let's add some variety to these mechanics, you know? Gonna need those for later when you're designing your
Block
FPS.
Studios. Right? 22 Block Studios asks, when can we add music?
Music is part of that 0.7 suite I did just mention just a little bit ago. Audio, video under QA. Well, you know, in terms of a date, don't have that information at this time. We will have it. Essentially, we don't want to push out something that doesn't work, right? You want it to be good. You want it to all work well. So it takes a bit.
Gotta have all the things ironed out first. And Metasander asks, Joe, what are your thoughts about Eighth of Space now after VX Mint and the whole VX reveal this Sunday?
I mean, if I can be honest, it's not like I do a bunch of different stuff, and it wasn't really as much on my radar. But
we're just unfortunately a little swamped with everything popping off.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same. I had the same experience personally. I had the same thing with the CyberKongs. I think this is a much better question for PandaPops. because they are, you know, I think they're more likely to have picked it up. I think the Apes of Space and any of those other collections that come in with that VX iteration have a unique opportunity to do something different. And the problem is that myself, Alex, anybody really, we only have so much mental real estate to work with, right? Like we only have so much time in the day. And so when I get questions about all these different things, you know, a 24-hour live stream that we have coming up, and like trying to plan those and trying to plan this like million followers thing that we have going on Twitter, I have to make sure that I invest my time in those core pieces. And so when a collection like this comes out, sometimes it just goes under for me. Like the doggies. I mean, the doggies of all things, right? The doggies.
I know you missed out on that too.
Just right under my, yeah, like they didn't go under the radar. Like I knew they were coming, but I was like, okay, yeah, like that's out. And now my time with that is done, if that makes sense. Like, because I'll know about it and we'll talk about it and I'll share about it and I'll see it and I'll be all in it. And then once they're like, cool, we're ready for production, I'm like, cool, all right, I can move on to the next thing. Because that's kind of the process when you're working to make that possible for the community. You sort of have to step back away from it as a consumer and just go like, you know, that now can take its life and I can focus on the next thing that we have to build, to do, to share, create, whatever. So it's, you know, it's cool that it's out there. And I'm going to share it with you guys, but I also have the other 80% of my day, which is just focused on things that I can't tell you about yet. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, as you close down that forum and we get ready to close out questions here, who's our lucky winner for our Wizzy the Green?
All right, let's get it going. I'm just going to take a quick second here to double check and make sure we don't have any nonsense. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
Okay. Is this the first day that we didn't have duplicates?
No.
Yeah.
But
I fear it'll never happen.
So we have 302 people watching live, but 247 valid responses. So we'll do 247. I'm going to click generate on this, and user number 61 is the user that'll be winning here. Let's see who that is. Who's user number 61? All right. To the question, have you designed a game or experience in the Sandbox Game Maker? They answered simply yes. Watching over on twitch.tv, Joe217, Joe, 217. Nice name, friend.
Congratulations, Jojo. You won.
Congratulations.
You're gonna get yourself a Wizzy the Green lucky hat.
It's a lucky hat.
Oh, yeah.
It's
and
nice.
Thank you, Chazwolf, for answering some of these questions for us in the chat. We are currently on ETH, and we're slowly migrating over to the Polygon network.
That's right. And I want to, so as the last piece, because Ice Pilot X7 was so excited about me reviewing absolutely every single piece in this entire space. This one right here that I've been standing in front of for this entire duration. Love it to death, but the very last frame was not done well. And
yeah,
I know that seems nitpicky, but you see it jerk hard
right
at the end.
Eye bothering. It hurts almost.
Yeah. What you want to do with this is make sure that there's a transition frame that takes you back to 0, and that all of your assets, all those objects, have that like timeline bar dragged to that last frame, so that they all end on the same frame and it ends smoothly and cleanly instead of jerking like this. So what you would do is, if it started with the black and white tiles, you need to make sure that the last frame is black and white tiles so that it can restart the loop and looks clean and nice. Make sure that if they're all dancing, doing the hop hop, whatever, they got some Gangnam Style going on, that those all end with that happening. Or, you know, whatever the characters at the top are the ones, you know, they're all animated and they're all doing that jerk at the very end. So it's a keyframe thing that you need to pay attention to right at the very end of that, but it looks good. It looks good overall. Like, I like all of the arts, the way that it comes together. It's very nice, but that last bit takes you out of it in that moment, you know. All right.
Right.
So,
right.
Conrad, it's been a wonderful time hanging out with you here today. I'm getting ready to raid somebody over on twitch.tv. Who do we got going today?
Yeah.
You know? Who do we got going?
I don't know who we got going, but I'm gonna be a little selfish here and
Okay.
give up my my moment of nepotism to shout out my lovely fiance, 10 years, Holly. She's currently live, wonderful streamer. You guys don't have to go check her out. We're not gonna raid her, but I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of my capabilities here.
There it is.
If you want some good positivity, go check her out. I much appreciate it. But otherwise, here on the Sandbox, we always raid somebody who is working in the Sandbox currently.
That's right.
So let's go check them out. Who do we got live?
All right, so we're gonna revisit where we went yesterday. We're gonna go hang out with Snabber real quick.
Ooh.
135 viewers ready to raid over on twitch.tv, and before we go, it's time to rock it out. All right.
Give me that music.
Oh yeah. I don't know why. Every time I start it up, I want to do that.
Always do the Barry
single
White
time.
Oh man! Don't forget to check us out on Twitter for all those wonderful updates. You want to make sure you're following everybody. Kami Saza, Alex Elf, PandaPops, Joe, the Vision EX, myself, Rad Condad, to get all those wonderful updates. And make sure you follow the Sandbox and read those Medium articles, folks.
Don't worry. Ms. Amazing is asking in the chat, when vibes, you know?
Oh yeah. Joe getting down. I'll be back on camera soon, folks. I'm just a little more unkempt than usual. We'll see you later.
Twitch.tv's out of here. YouTube.com, Twitter, DLive, Theta, Facebook. Thank you for joining us once again. This is a good morning, afternoon, evening show. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. It's a ladies' show. My time, morning. That's at, what is that, 8 p.m. UTC, right. I think. It's pretty early.
I think we got it right.
And then we got another show, good morning, afternoon, evening, 2 a.m. here on this channel. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you next time, lovelies.